If you have this dream life that you are manifesting for yourself, that you are wanting for yourself, no matter what it could look like, you have to know that it is possible. You have to know that you are worthy of receiving it, that you are capable of bringing it in for yourself. Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. I am Lavonne Lillian, intuitive spiritual healer and teacher. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I want to talk about settling and how so many of us are settling and we don't even realize that we are. So when I say settle, I mean you could be settling in work, in your career, in your relationship, where you live. I mean, take it as it resonates. But this is you needing to recognize your own value and recognize that you can have more, that you are deserving of so much more. A lot of times I feel that we settle, we don't even realize that we're doing it. And to me, that is the idea of subconsciously placing these limits and these ceilings on ourselves and what we can achieve and what we can have and what we can earn. So maybe you have this idea, or you grew up thinking that this is the most money that I'll ever make. Where I come from, people tend to make this much money, or they tend to just do this, so I'm going to follow the path. Or subconsciously you know that, or you're telling yourself that I'll never make this much money. Maybe you're settling in love. Maybe you have experienced certain relationships, so maybe you've started to tell yourself that because I've only ever experienced this is how relationships are going to go for me from now on. This is the kind of love that I'm just simply meant to have. Maybe you grew up in the same town that not many people have moved away from, and you could be miserable there or just plain unhappy, but yet you tell yourself, this is where I'm from, we stay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and you just settle. I'm here to tell you that you're not meant to settle. You're not meant to just have the bare minimum or just have the basics. You're meant for more. You're deserving of so much more. That home, that dream marriage, that dream career, that dream business. And the first step in having more is recognizing that limit, that ceiling that you've placed on yourself. The first step is to recognize that you have been settling or that you are settling. Now, it's going to take work to break that, because what it is literally breaking your thought pattern. It is breaking what you have known or what you have believed for so long. But that's half the battle. Once you give yourself permission to have more and to demand more and go after more, you're halfway there. Growing up, I saw this set way of life and what I could make, what I could be. It was this idea of you go to school, you get your degree, you work your 9 to 5, you pay into your retirement, you retire, you enjoy your last 15, 20 years of your life, whatever you have left, right? That idea, I would literally, anytime I thought about that way of life, I would die this slow death, y'all. Like, it was just this gut-wrenching feeling of this can't be what I'm supposed to be doing. But for the longest, I believed that that's the way you do it, that is how my life is supposed to go. That's what I've seen around me. That's what society tells you, right? And subconsciously, I was placing that limit on myself. I was settling for this way of life that I didn't want any parts of. And once I recognized that I don't have to work that traditional 9 to 5, or I don't have to, spend most of my life working and then grow up and retire, I recognized that there was more for me. Now, for many people, that is perfectly okay. You have to take it as it resonates. To you, what would be settling? Is it being in that relationship with that person that doesn't excite you, that you don't love? Is it living in that town that just sucks the life out of you? Only you know what it is for you. But I want you to ask yourself, what limits are you placing on yourself? I want you to ask yourself, if I could have my dream life, what would that look like? What would my dream relationship look like? What would my dream career look like? Maybe you're wanting to start that business. Maybe you're wanting to make that move. Give yourself permission to want all those things, to demand those things for yourself, and then start to make it happen. But the first step is to break that loop. The first step is to recognize that this isn't it for me anymore. I don't want this for myself. I'm placing a limit on myself that I choose to go past. I'm choosing to break that ceiling. If you believe that this is actually possible to do, if you stop limiting yourself and allow yourself to truly believe that you can have that dream, whatever it may be, the universe acknowledges that. The universe will say, you know what? Let's send it their way, because they recognize that they can't have it. Let's send it to them. This is going to require you to do a lot of self-reflection. This is going to require you to look at your own personal experiences. What did you see growing up? What kind of things did you hear? What kind of ideas, what kind of thoughts begin to form based on these experiences that may have caused you to unknowingly place a cap on yourself, to place a ceiling on what you could achieve, of what you could have, of the abundance that you could have. And allow yourself to assess those things and begin to break them, begin to move past those, and give yourself permission to have more, to demand more for yourself, to have more abundance. And that's what it's going to take. If you have this dream life that you are manifesting for yourself, that you are wanting for yourself, no matter what it could look like, you have to know that it is possible. You have to know that you are worthy of receiving it, that you are capable of bring it in for yourself. But you have to move past that ceiling. You have to stop settling. Recognize your value. Recognize what is possible for you. And don't just settle because it's all you know. Don't just settle because it's all you experienced. Don't just settle because it's all you've been told. Tell yourself a different story. Create a different story for yourself. You don't have to settle. You can have more for yourself. You can literally have your dream life. Thank you so much, beautiful souls, for joining me and spending this time with me. And I'll be seeing y'all soon.